Oh, jeez, this is going to be one of those runs, isn't it? No, I full screened. I don't know how to play this game.
Nah, you're fine.
Top 10 anime death scene. Oh, this is gonna be one of those runs. I'm ready. So just give you a countdown.
Yeah, just you do a countdown. I'll start
All
after
right.
that.
3, 2, 1, go. Hi. You know who I am by now if you've watched the stream today. But I have a friend this time.
How's it going, everyone? This is BiT.
If you watch the Frogger runs, you probably know this guy. If you haven't, you should have.
Yeah, that was
And
me.
I'm sorry you didn't. Like, the Frogger games are cool, but this game is even cooler.
Thanks, man.
And here's why.
Oh,
So the
yeah.
beginning of this cutscene, after this cutscene, the game immediately throws you into the first level of the game. So if I close the game, so once you enter the first level, the new game button on the menu, the main menu, turns into a continue button with a world select. But since you get thrown right into 1-1, the game decides to turn the new game button into a continue button as soon as the cutscene starts. So as soon as that second cutscene started, I closed the game and reopened it and just entered the level from the world select, and that's called cutscene reload skip. It saves 20 seconds right there, and then later in the game, we're gonna do another one to save about a minute and a half.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I remember when I found that. I remember I found the original CRS, like the one in between Worlds 1 and 2, like, on my first playthrough by accident. But I didn't find that one until I got really bored one run. And I was like, can I, like, cutscene reload skip this? Like, and I could. And it was great. Coming up here, I have a strat that recently got revamped. Originally, I would take the enemy to the left of me and use the one right here to jump over the wall, but I found out if you jump, I messed it up. Oh, that's bad. I messed up both of them. Usually you can use the guy on the left as a backup strat if you miss it, but okay. So originally what I did was I took those two enemies and I stopped moving to manipulate the amount of space between the two enemies so that I could bounce off of both of them. But if you bounce off of those guys, since they try and follow your height, you can manipulate their height and you can bounce over that wall only using one enemy.
Nice.
Yeah. This is kind of slow because I died. Oh, I was like scratching my arm and I panicked because I had to jump over an enemy. This is going amazing. I could explain the game because I should explain the game, shouldn't I?
Oh, go for it.
So this game is based off of like retro platformers. There's 4 worlds, one based on a different console generation. There's Atari, which we're in right now, and then there's Game Boy, NES, and SNES. Each one, as the name of the game it implies, your name is BiT, and you evolve after each world. It's like...
Shoutouts to characters with the name BiT in them.
Yeah. Winner BiT. What? I can't think of anyone else, I'm sorry.
Fair enough. So, we see you're dying here, and, going
Oh
into
yeah,
this
that's what I
green
wanted
line-
to explain.
Yeah, go for it.
Thanks! So the way this game works is that when you get hit, you get sent to the realm of code, which is kind of like this alternate dimension. Where it's harder, basically. The game is harder, but like there's a split between these two worlds, and sometimes... Exactly around. But sometimes it's faster to go there, and sometimes you're required to go there. So the game has this mechanic of hopping between these two realms to do everything you can to just beat the stage. Each world has a different story in it. What am I doing with my life? I wasn't supposed to do all that. I was just supposed to get hit. Like, each world has a different story. And in the end, like, the story in this world doesn't really matter that much. But in like the second world, it's at, or not the second, but like the third, like the fourth world is where the story actually like is relevant to the whole game. But for now, each world kind of has its own mini story. Boy, howdy.
Yeah, everything gets tied together pretty nicely.
I mean, it doesn't really throw back to the old worlds, except for the refights. But like, it does stuff with the realm of code, basically. But basically, we skipped a cutscene at the beginning of 1-1, and that skipped all the story. Basically, I'm on a treasure hunt right now. So we're gonna go find some treasure. And the way we do that is by going to a pyramid and raiding it. We're like Lara Croft, except we're a tan ball. Now that I think about it, it kind of looks like a Dragon Ball.
You know what? You're right.
Now we're in the water. Water has a lot of movement techniques.
Yeah, you want to explain water skipping?
I thought you were gonna... I mean, if you want me to explain water skipping now, I will. Unless you want to explain it. Groundwater jumping is the next level. So hurry up, I guess, I don't know.
You probably know a little bit more about it than I do, so you can
Okay, yeah. So, I didn't think... I messed up there, by the way. I was supposed to get hit by the croc, but my cycles were off. But basically, the water in this game slows you down. Like, when you're in it, it says when you're in water, slow whatever speed, and it doesn't matter what type of movement you're doing, just slow it down a bit. Just slow it down. But so, what we do is a trick called water skipping, where we click the jump button while we're like at the surface of the water, so that it's kind of like, I messed up a ton, that's bad, I'm just gonna restart the level there. It looks like we're kind of skipping a rock on water, and it's faster because we don't spend like as much time in the water, we spend a ton of time in the air above the water. So we're still traversing through the water without actually getting the slowdown. And it's very hard, sometimes.
Once again, all the Wario Land 4.
Yeah, Wario Land 4 is just a fun game.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, you're going to a pyramid to steal treasure. You're skipping over water.
Yeah.
It's all the same stuff from the Golden Passage.
Good thing that the amazing Twitch stream of Mr. Shasta runs Wario Land 4.
Yeah, man, shoutouts.
Why do I keep plugging other people in my runs? Okay. So I have to do a bit of a backup strat here. Usually I go in that first portal in the level, but I missed it because of where I got hit by that enemy and how I reacted to it. You're supposed to get hit there, but usually I go in that left portal. That path where you go to the second portal in the level is a bit harder. This is groundwater jumping. I get it. I'll go into the depth of that because I don't really have anything else to say now that we're out of the water levels. Groundwater jumping is something really weird. It's another thing I found on my blind playthrough of the game, on my first playthrough, where basically, if you sit at the bottom of a pool of water and then swim straight up, when you jump out of the water, you'll have a midair. You'll still have the game will still let you jump even though you're in midair. And it's kind of weird, and don't know why, but it's useful. The main reason we used it there was to get over their enemies, or those enemies. I can't say things. We used it there because there was this one crocodile in a really bad position last level. So we like groundwater jumped off of like a higher up ledge so we didn't have to sink down. So we could bounce off an enemy to get enough height. I guess, actually, I don't know how many I can't speak. I'm gonna, hopefully throughout the span of next month, be making video tutorials for this game on, like, the fastest routes for each level. Because as you can see, like, the strat for this game, for this part of the game, is just holding the right key as much as possible without it harming you. But, like, there are certain, like, jumps you make, or, like, enemies you get hit by at certain positions that's just... It's just good to know. If you want to pick up this game, I'd be very happy. Currently, the record is 56-30... 31 or 32. I think. 56-32? Yeah, 56. I'm just gonna say 56-32. That's right. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. And I was actually behind entering World 2 in that run, or entering World 4, which is the last world in that run. And I PB'd by 2 minutes. So coming up, we have Blobomb. I'm gonna hope I get this, if you want to explain this.
There's a 1 cycle you can get, right?
Yes, but it's completely random, and I didn't
Let's
get
hope
it.
for good RNG.
I mean, honestly, it's really rare. Like, I'm not surprised I didn't get it. Oh, okay. That's weird. That's new. So as you see, I don't have invincibility frames right now. Usually I do for some reason, like infinite invincibility frames, and that can lead for a soft lock if you don't 2-cycle this guy. I did anyways, but like, that's weird. Alright, now we're doing another cutscene reload to skip this cutscene. And unlike the first one, which saves 20 seconds, this one saves over a minute and a half. But yeah, Blomom, you drop boulders. It was fairly simple. So coming up into World 2, this is a Game Boy themed world. The collectibles here, the bits, haha, they're called bits. No, they're not. They're called pixels. I'm an idiot. The pixels here are green because this is the Game Boy. In every other world, they're yellow or orange or whatever you want to call them. They're there. I actually routed 100% for this game, but only like the first 4 levels before I got annoyed with the 5th one because it sucks. So
now we're in the, I want to say, Game Boy era.
Yeah. Yeah. This one is probably the hardest. No, it's not the hardest. I don't know about this world, because it's like, I feel like it's the hardest, but it's not the hardest. It might just be my favorite, honestly. In the run. It's probably, I wouldn't say, actually no, I wouldn't say it's the hardest, but I'd say it's probably, and this is going to be surprising when you see the other 2 worlds, especially World 4, but this one's probably the most movement intense one. Like, this one is, like, probably the hardest. Like, the other 2 have new movement mechanics that are gonna go crazy. But, like, it's gonna be crazy in the next 2 worlds. But, like, there's something hard about not having fast abilities and just holding right. I think it's because, as I mentioned earlier, the strat for the first 2 worlds, 90% no save quit. Well, the game auto-saves, so you might as well quit. I mean, do you want a category that's just a minute and over a minute, like 2 minutes longer because you're too lazy to close the game and reopen it? No, that's no fun.
That's no good.
That's no good. This call is so nerdy. The snow stages. The last one has a cool strat. I'm actually going to explain something. So, as I mentioned, the Realm of Code exists. And the strat in this game is usually to hold right. So you'd think, okay, getting hit isn't too big a deal. But it's actually kind of a big deal. So, the thing about the Realm of Code is that there's not a level exit. And there's about 5.5 seconds of cutscene between the animation of you entering it and you exiting it. So usually if you can't, you don't want, if you like cannot enter it, you don't want to. There are some times where it's faster because the level design is different, like in 2.9 you're gonna see shortly. But sometimes, as we'll find skips, you know, sometimes we'll find skips that require going into the Realm of Code. And sometimes, like right now, I find skips that skip going into the Realm of Code. This one, you're supposed to get hit on that spike and there's a hole in the mountain, but we can jump off that, we can get that bird, we can jump in, if we jump against that wall, the bird will be close enough in the bird's range for it to die. Heck. will be close enough in the bird's range for it to dive at us, and then it's low enough when it dives at us that we can bounce off of it and jump over that wall. Because usually in the realm of code, that mountain has a giant hole in the side of it. But that bird exists. I'm getting notifications from everything, like, okay. Like, I don't even use Skype anymore. What are you doing?
I know, right? I mean, I still have it installed for no reason.
Actually, that's a lie. I use it because I have, like, 3 friends that are too lazy to switch over to Discord. And I'm like, I'm not gonna fight them on it. I'm gonna hot take right now. Skype isn't bad, but Discord is just way better. But, like, Skype is not a bad program.
It has its purpose.
That purpose is not emergency calls or messaging, and it really wants you to know that. I almost got too relaxed there. This level is so easy, and then this level is just really hard. Hi, surprise, this is one of the hardest levels in the run. Okay. If I nail this level... Nope! Didn't nail it. Oh, I can do this. That's the thing, actually. I was gonna say this. This game, if you like improvisation and speed games, this is definitely a good choice, because if you get hit in somewhere that's not intended, or like you're gonna have to be in the realm of code. And sometimes, you're not gonna think to learn the entire layout of the realm of code, because, you know, sometimes you're not supposed to go to it. So if you go to the realm of code somewhere where you don't know the level design for it, like, you're gonna have to improvise. Where you do want to go to the realm of code is right here, though, because there's a hole in this wall. And with that hole in the wall, we can skip climbing around this area, and it saves time. I haven't timed it because I've never even thought of going up when I knew that hole existed the entire time. But it saves time.
Good stuff.
This area I used to have trouble with for a while, like getting down there and dealing with thundercloud cycles. But you can hold right there and get that wall. Hold up. Yes, I got it. Okay. So that actually wastes like a second, but that jump is frame perfect. I just kind of did a frame perfect jump in midair. So this level starts you off with a cutscene, and also for some reason halfway through World 2, the game just takes away your ability to skip cutscenes until the end of it. But, oh my god, stop messaging me. Sorry. But, so since that level spawns you falling down from the sky levels to a cave, like, before the cutscene actually starts, you could do, like, before the game realizes, it takes a frame for the game to realize that you're on, like, you're falling. Because, you know, the default starting position in the level is on the ground, because you're supposed to start a level by playing it. But yeah, so you can do a frame perfect jump in the sky there if you time it right. And I got it, which is awesome.
Very cool. That's always a lot of fun to get.
Yeah, even though it wastes a second, it's the greatest thing of all time.
I'd probably do that in Frog's Adventures Temple of the Frog if it didn't soft lock the game.
Oh god. Shoutouts to Frogger.
Heck yeah.
I like frogs. So this part of the level is probably one of the worst parts of the run if you're not good at it. Because if you get hit by one of those water droplets, unless you're, like, actually at the very top, like, jumping to the goal, so you're, like, at the highest height of that section, you will fall all the way down that shaft with no other place for you to, like, grab on, and you'll have to do that climb over again. I almost messed up this level so much that my cycles were off, and I almost got hit by that water droplet. Water droplets are one of the worst enemies in this game. Honestly, like, they just kind of stink a lot. And they make some portions of this level specifically so much harder. Like this one. Just kidding, that's easy. coming up we have Snake Spear, who, fun fact, is completely a pattern and not random at all. That's not sarcasm. So a lot of people in my chat, as in the 2 people that show up in my chat when I play this game, not including you, because I'm pretty sure I've talked too much about this game that you know it entirely. But sometimes I get people in my chat that ask me that, oh no, I messed up. I wanted to do something that looked cool and I messed it up, so now I just look really slow and uncool.
Oh man.
Whatever. But some people ask me, hey, is this boss random? And I'm always like, no, because it's not. So, the way this boss works is that it advances to its next attack once you kill all the bats in the room. So, bat murder is fast. And right there, I actually did a little skip. Usually he summons bats as soon as he opens his mouth there, but if you hit him fast enough, and you also spawn bats in the room when you hit that guy, when you hit him. But if you hit him fast enough once he spawns in that area, he won't be able to spawn his own set of bats, so you'll only have to fight bats for when you hit him, which saves a little bit of time because killing the bats advances to the next attack.
Cool stuff.
So, you know, sometimes the bats are really annoying, but sometimes they aren't that bad. Sometimes you'd prefer bats. And I'm gonna make a prime example of why bats are good. Or rather, why bats are not the worst. Okay, so I died, but I did get the second hit, so it should register. This is a really bad Snake Spear fight.
Oh yeah, his name's Snake Spear, by the way.
So this is the water attack. He raises water and swims around a lot. It's a very slow attack. You know what's faster? Swimming up to him and taking damage. Usually in a good fight, you would not have died yet, so you can only hit him between the way left and the way right platform. So usually in a run, that skip will also reactivate the platform so you can hit him again, because the Realm of Code respawns every platform that you took out. But the main reason you do that is, as you saw, instead of swimming around a ton, he just kind of threw bats at me, and then I was able to kill him.
And that's Snake Spear water skip.
That's Snake Spear water skip. I actually meant to call it Snake Spear water attack skip in the notes. Or just water attack skip. Basically not Snake Spear water skip. So now we have 2 cutscenes to skip, and this is World 3. World 3 is where the run really picks up, in my opinion. Because the run is good before, but like this is the armadillo suit, and that's a skip. So the armadillo suit has a roll, and when you're rolling, you move faster. Your movement speed is increased. There's a lot of strats here. You can't keep a power-up. There's one other power-up we'll see later in this world. In the Realm of Code. When I jumped over that one spike pit before the checkpoint, I actually did a very big skip called the first... I don't have a name for it. But basically what I did was when I jumped, I did a technique called uncurl jumping, where basically I didn't even jump that all the time. I uncurl from the ball for like a fraction of a second, and the reason I do that is to jump. And when I jump, because when you jump and then immediately use the ball, but you're holding down space, usually if you jump and then like use the ball in midair, use the roll in midair, it like sends you with like normal rolling speed, because normal rolling speed is not very fast. Like, no. If you jump, as you see, when I'm jumping while rolling, I don't jump very high. But if I go into normal mode for a very short amount of time, I will actually, and then roll really quickly after jumping. It's actually not the short amount of time thing in between things. It's actually like, basically, usually when you jump and then roll, you kind of like, your height just kind of stops. But if you roll at a period of time that's before, like, the roll hits its height peak, you'll just do a full-size jump instead. That took a while to explain. But it took so
Pretty
long
sweet.
to explain. But it took so long to explain that by the time I finally explained it, we're done seeing the armadillo suit until a long while.
Yeah.
So now we gotta play the normal game. This is BiT Evolution. I was supposed to get hit by that skeleton, by the way. I can do this. So I go to the realm of code here because of this hole in the wall that does not exist in the normal realm. It skips us going around the segment and saves a bit of time unless you get hit by the skeleton immediately after the hole in the wall. Yeah, you have to jump and roll at the same time. You don't have to step and roll, you don't have to touch and roll, you have to jump and roll. It's the next Monkey Ball game. It's gonna bring back the jump from Banana Blitz. The best Monkey Ball game is Monkey Ball 2. Okay, glad we talked about that. Have you ever played Monkey Ball? I'll take that as a no.
Did you ask me a question? I'm sorry.
You ever played Monkey Ball?
I played Super Monkey Ball Jr., which I know is probably the worst game ever.
Could be Banana Splits.
Yeah, but I've always wanted to try a console one. Haven't gotten around to it yet.
There are only like 3 people in the world that have played Banana Splits because there's only like 3 people in the world that have a PS Vita. Unless it's a PSP game, I forgot. Is it a PSP? Ness knows this. Ness? Help your sister. Alright. Coming up here, we have a pretty dumb section of the level where we bounce on skeletons. I actually forgot my strat for that. Like, 5 minutes before I went live. So, I'm glad I got that.
Shoutouts to muscle memory.
Oh, no! I'm supposed to do short hops here to get over... Because the strat here is to jump over the first skeleton, the skeleton on the bottom without ever jumping on the top purple platforms, but I didn't small hop right. Because, like, this game doesn't have, like, precise jump heights in this world. It has, like, a few set ones, depending on how long you press the spacebar. Or the K key, whatever button you're using. Space or K. Yes, K is a jump button. If I wanted to, I could play this game with WASD, J, and K. But instead I'm using Shift, Space, and arrows because that's easier for me. I'm very used to keyboard gaming, if you couldn't tell. I'm not used to this game, though. Alright. I want to explain the story here. Before we reach the beehive levels. Because it's explained in a cutscene in the next level. So, the king we saw in, like, for, like, half a second before I skipped the cutscene at the beginning of World 3. I don't remember his name. But he lived with a princess. Basically, is what's important here. And one day, somebody attacked them. They fought him off, and the princess was like, let's go to war. And the king was like, no, bad idea. Let's not go to war. And so they got into their own war about
whether to have a war or not.
About whether they should have war or not. So what the king did, because, you know, the king is like, a king and queen are equal, but not a king and a princess. That's kind of an obvious. So what the king did was lock the princess away in a castle. And I promise you, before you facepalm, this is an actual pun the game makes and not me. But that's the story of how the princess is in another castle. Again, I swear to God, the game makes that pun. I did not come up with that. It's explained in the cutscene at the beginning of this level right here. Tells that exact story just to make that pun. Either way, welcome to the beehive levels. These levels look cool if you don't mess them up, but I'm really bad at them, so I'm gonna mess them up, well, just for you. There's one level in particular I like to single out as the worst of the 3. You may know which one it is, winner. I put it in the One We're not in it yet. This is Hectic Hive. Unfortunately, like the best named level in the game is like the worst level in the game. Also, I did a mini jump there by accident. That could have been bad. Oh god, not the bees. So there are these mini beehives that if you hit them, like a ton of bees start attacking you. And oh no, this is bad. Okay. Let me try that again. There we go. I didn't hit the beehives. Okay.
Nice.
So now it's time for the worst level in the game, but with the best level name in the game.
That would be B Bonanza.
B Bonanza! Alright, let's go. So you see this little shell guy at the top? I don't know if you remember, but at the beginning of this world, we learned that we can pick up those enemies, those pink shell enemies. There's an achievement, there's a Steam achievement for this game, and I think it's the last one I got. I have all the achievements in this game. But, I think it's the last one I got. There's a Steam achievement in this game for killing that enemy, picking up the pink shell, and carrying it throughout the entire stage. I'm not even joking. It's the worst thing in the game ever. I'm, like, forgetting how I play this game right now. I'm sorry. This part is good. There you go.
It happens to everyone.
This is not good gameplay. You know, I usually wait that cycle, so that doesn't happen. Game. Yeah, now you can see how slow the water really is. Because, you know, I can't water skip in mid-air water. There's just water covered in walls. This jump sucks, you know? Can I jump in the portal? Okay, take two. Like, this jump, I honestly don't know how the devs expected you to make it and how I make it like that, but I made it like that. Okay, so now that this run is garbage, welcome to Waspy Warzone. I was gonna say Hectic Hive. Waspy Warzone is the coolest looking level in the run. Yeah, that's a lot. Barrel Barons. This is one of the cooler looking levels in the run, but knowing this run, I'm gonna play it wrong, so let's go.
At least we're not in B Bonanza anymore.
That's true. It's always a good thing to not be in B Bonanza. Like, if I ever wanted to show off why speedrunning this game is cool, I would, like, show them, like, it. Like, okay, this is a question I like with speed games. If you had a chance to show off 3 levels of your speed game to try and impress people, what levels would you choose? That's a question I like asking. I've never asked that before. I've never asked that question to anyone before. I just came up with that now. But this would be one of the 3 levels. I would show off this level, 4, 3, and probably, like, I don't know. Probably, like, the second boss. The second boss is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Snake Spear, my bro. So there, I was not on the right cycle, so I hit that bee like an idiot. And then I hit that laser shooter like an idiot because I jumped too low. Alright, take 2. That didn't happen, just kidding. Take 1. This is world record pace, guys. This is, like, not world record pace. So if I make that cycle, I didn't make that cycle. I'm just gonna humble it there. I love this run, dude. This is the run I was most confident in, and it's the one probably going the worst. I'm just gonna... Don't look at me. Don't worry, this can still beat my marathon time from 2 months ago.
I have faith in you.
By the way, in my last marathon run, I lost 4 minutes to the final boss because I did something really stupid that made me restart it. So, continuing the beehive and tree level theme of the second level in the level theme being the worst, we have crazy clouds.
Woo!
And I guess I should, since that... This is why it's the worst. But I guess I should, actually, since this is the last level where it really applies, explain what the problem with this part of the run is. Like, from the tree levels to the beehive levels, or the sky levels, is where this problem persists. Is that sometimes in this run, like right there, you jump too high, too fast, for the game to catch up with you while you're scrolling vertically.
I can see that. It's pretty nasty.
So you can, like, not know if there's an enemy above you. And usually, I've been having trouble with jump height today. I don't know what it is.
Gary J. Games is curious as to how cycles work in this game. If they're global or if they appear on screen.
They're global, I'm pretty sure. I don't remember if they're global or not. I'm pretty sure they're global. Yeah, no, they're global. And I know this because of the cannon level later in the game. That's a weird glitch. Sometimes BiT won't fade out with the rest of the level if you die in the level at some point. I've actually never gotten that to happen in World 1, 2, or 3, though, so that's cool. But no, the cycles in this level are global, but there's a default cycle start, so that if you go to the realm of code, when you enter it, those cycles start at a certain point. As of right now, I've never found a use to go into the realm of code just to set up cycles, because usually, like, the cycles you usually get are usually fast. Like, for example, 4-3, as I've said, I've talked about that level a lot this run. I can't wait for me to mess it up in the run. But 4-3, like, the fastest you can go up to, like, this one part that's that's entirely, like, cycle-based on cannon movement. Like, if you play the entire level right, those cycles will literally be, like, aligned perfectly. But coming up, we have the last 3 stages in World 3, which are these castle stages.
Yeah,
I don't have too much to talk about. I want to talk about why I like the speed game. And it's because it has one thing I really like about it. And that is the length to level ratio. I don't know why, but one of my favorite things about some speed games is a game like, for example, this one has, like, including bosses, 64 levels. Or, like, so, alright, I'm gonna use Mario 64. Like, you can beat 120 star in less than 120 minutes. I just think that's cool. I don't know why. I just like things like that. And this game has 64 levels, and you can beat it in less than 64 minutes. You can beat it in less than 60. You can beat it in less than 55. I haven't done that yet, though. By the way, the only other runner on the leaderboard did their run like 2 months before I rerouted this game, and their time is 1:53:41. So you can beat that.
Oh, yeah.
Is there a point where a cycle is barely not possible to just barge through a stage? I don't think so. I know the B levels require a lot of waiting, so maybe I could test out those levels, like especially B Bonanza. There's a lot of waiting in some of those levels, so I could test out some cycles there. That's actually a good idea. Thanks for making me think of that. Right here, I'm going to grab one of the shell guys, which I said was not a very useful mechanic in the run, because I could kill that guy a lot easier. So I lied, it's a very useful mechanic in the run. Shoutouts to that enemy right there.
And you're going to be coming up on one of my favorite, personally, one of my favorite bosses.
Oh god, this is my least favorite boss. Alright.
Well, I am speaking as a viewer.
Yeah,
so.
Explain it to me, boy. That was rude, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Okay.
But yeah, you're gonna go for wing skips?
I'm gonna go for both of them, because I just found the new backup strat. And there's the first one. You want to explain why I'm doing them?
Sure.
I mean, you can literally do it in 3 words, but, like, take your time, I guess.
Alright. 1 is faster, 2 is 2, 3 is roll.
Oh, that's...
So it's faster
I was gonna say rolling is faster, but that works. I did it. Okay, that could have been really bad. If you're confused, I disappeared for like a second. I actually clipped into the ceiling there. And you can clip into the ceiling above the last wing power-up. If you want to, you can go behind Dioma. Yeah, there are some points in this game, like right there as well. There's just not collision in some places. But welcome to World 4. We can now roll all the time, and you know what that means. We're going to be rolling the rest of the game, basically. So the two power-ups of the last world were Wing and Armadillo. And right now, we don't have an equivalent to the Wing power-up, but we're going to get the jet. We have a jetpack that doesn't work right now, and it's going to be repaired in level 4. But we have to do the first 3 levels without any type of, like, hover. Time Splitter 2 is the second game in the series, and you can beat it in under a second. That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so coming up here, we can use cannon cycles if I go fast enough to do a little skip. That saves like barely even a second. I think. Unless I just skipped the part where it happens because I did a different realm of code route there. I did. Okay, never mind. I lied.
Rip.
Usually what happens there is there's a cannon you can bounce on, and you can get on the platform above the cannon. Okay, hold up. I want to concentrate on this level. I'll explain it afterwards. Damn it. Well, I got most of it, so it wasn't that bad. So basically, that's 4-3, and that's what I was talking. Wow, really? Did I just do that? So basically, I like 4-3, as you could have tell from my commentary. I like 4-3 a lot. And the reason why I do is because of possibly my favorite movement-related trick in the game. That's roll speed canceling what I did. So the roll, as you know, tells you to move faster while you're moving. But another thing it does, for some reason, is that when you go into a thing that usually changes your speeds, the roll carries the initial speed. So if I roll out of a cannon, when the game usually tells me to... I keep thinking I have the jetpack, honestly. But when the game tells me to get out of, like, when I shoot out of a cannon, the game says, at a certain point, okay, you can stop being at the cannon speed now, because this cannon speed is faster than the roll speed. However, if I keep rolling when the game gets to that point where it says stop using cannon speed, the game won't stop using cannon speed, so I'll roll at the speed of a cannon, basically.
Rolling around at the speed of cannon.
Cannons. So this guy just fixed our jetpack, so now the game is a lot easier.
Oh yeah.
Except for when I'm an idiot.
There's always that.
But it's okay, because I recovered it well, I guess.
Nice.
Not really that well, but whatever. I beat the stage, okay? What else can I say? This level... No, it doesn't. Oh yeah, if you get in... So the levels are usually... The cycles are usually lined up here for you to perfectly jump in that cannon. And, like... Also, this bee stops when you bounce on it for a tiny bit, so... I want to do that in the least amount of bounces on the bee possible. What I was gonna say is, usually... those cycles at the beginning of this level are perfectly aligned for you to, like, bounce off that first cannon. Also, that hit. I didn't mean to take the hit there, but I did intend to get hit some point in this level to go there. But you can usually, like... The cycles at the beginning of this level are supposed to be aligned, so that as soon as you react to the level, you can jump in the cannon and bounce off of that flying guy. However, I kind of jumped in the cannon a bit too fast, because I know the level design of this game. And there's a skip. That skip saves, like, literally a second. Because we're intended to go in the realm of code anyways. Well, not intended. Well, we're intended to go in the realm of code. We skip the intended realm of code cutscene. But we go in the realm of code anyways, because the realm of code is faster than the barrel shooting segment. It saves a second to go in the realm of code if you get the cutscene skip, and if you don't get it, you have about half a second to save.
Nice, I just saw it on my end.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that checkpoint to be safe because this run's not been going so well.
Safety first.
That's why I went for that checkpoint. For some reason, usually that enemy tries to get you to not do that, but I did that. What? I need to jump over this rolly guy. Okay, now it's time to try that again. There we go. So, I'm just gonna unplug my mouse entirely for the rest of this run. Because it's starting to act up and make noises. So right here we have another application of roll speed canceling from the 4-3 with what we did with the cannons. Where if you are rolling on, like, water tells you to slow down, as I said earlier. But even when you're rolling, your roll speed is slower. Not slower than your movement speed, but just slower than rolling in not water. But if you roll from not water, so air basically, if you roll from air into the water, you'll be moving at normal rolling speed. And as soon as you, similarly to barrel, holding barrel speed, you keep your speed, you keep the speed from the previous terrain until you either stop moving or change direction. I forgot to explain that. That's when you lose your speed. And I call it canceling because you're canceling normal speed to go faster.
All sorts of little tips and tricks in this game that not everyone might.
Yeah, like there
find
are
on.
like kind of more important skips than others, but there are also just like minor things, like not even just like the techniques like roll speed canceling, but like for example, like the wall jump in 1-2 that I messed up like twice. Like there's just a lot of little things that make me like this game a lot. It's also like not the easiest, so if you want to like get a good time in this game, you have to be prepared to practice quite a bit. Winner, I hope you're ready to practice. Actually, I just realized something that I didn't explain, and since we're almost done in water for the rest of the run, I should explain it. As you see, I'm going out of roll form, out of like the ball form to roll when I'm swimming upwards. Similarly to the jump speed being, or the jump height being worse when you're in a ball. When you swim up as a ball, you don't go as high up. So that's useful for some points when I want to get through certain paths, but when I'm like forced to swim straight up, it's not worth it. This is like my favorite section in the game, probably, to play. Because, like, the city levels are just so cool. There's a lot of movement tech with, like, platforms, like, moving platforms and falling platforms. And the music is sick as hell. I should mention that this game's soundtrack is completely free to listen to on, like, SoundCloud, and I don't know if you can download it anywhere. But this game has a great soundtrack.
I just realized I had my mic muted.
For how
yeah,
long?
it's kicking. About 30 seconds.
Oh, okay, good. I was gonna say, oh no. This level is your classic vertical level. Because you can't have a 2D platform without a vertical level.
Oh yeah.
I just got really tripped up for a second because I have OBS behind me and like I'm watching the game capture, like the top of the game capture, and it's getting really like trippy.
Mm-hmm. I've done that too.
This is like a huge example of like cycles being reset by entering the realm of code. Because, like, the moving platforms in the stage can just not be nice sometimes. And that enemy can not be nice sometimes. This level's just always really problematic. Like, I always have a problem with this one. But I like this, I usually get through it.
Reminds me a little bit of the tower in VVVVVV.
That's a great game, you should play that.
Oh yeah, I think I've 100%ed it in the past.
I have too. That's a hard game to 100%, like, surprisingly hard.
Vini Vidi Vici.
Not even that, like, Edge games is hard.
Oh yeah.
I struggled a lot with Edge games.
And that one that you have to not die all the way back around so the platform doesn't reset.
That slope doesn't work, by the way. Like, is that you saw that slope that I clipped into like 3 times? I don't know why, but that slope just does not exist. Actually, this game is a Yoshi's Island type thing, where even if you're like going down a slope, it's like slower to be on slopes.
That's interesting.
I should have mentioned that sooner.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, before World 4, there were like no slopes. Because, haha. This is the Super Nintendo. Now you're playing with power, superpower. In fact, I made the first, second, third, and fourth icons on speedrun.com for this game. Like, I'll show it off after the run in the menu, probably. But, like, the icons, like, each world in the world select on the right side of the screen has, like, a cartridge that looks like an actual game cartridge. Like, okay, you saw it really quickly there because I accidentally went back to the menu. But there's, like, game cartridges for each of these, like, 4 games themed off of different consoles, and they're pretty neat looking. You can donate just a second. I don't know, are there still any, like, bid wars or incentives left? Is the Pokemon one closed yet? There might still be time to donate for a Pokemon name.
Let me find out here. Let me pop into the goals.
There
So
was
we still have Fire Red rival name, character name, and starter name to go.
Yeah, I don't know when Fire Red is, but make sure you get in your donation.
It is right after this run.
Oh yeah, so you have like, what's the timer at? I'm unsure. You probably have about you have less than 10 minutes basically to get your donations in.
Yeah, so get those in.
If you really want a rival name, if you really want like a certain name for a Pokemon or a rival, you have like, you donate right now. Like, don't even hesitate. Like, credit card has a negative balance, okay, but like, I want the starter Pokemon to be named Swagway, I don't know.
Yeah, and character name and rival name still have no donations to their names.
Oh, really? They
can
don't?
pretty much just buy your own name right now.
Wait, what does have a name?
The starter name.
Oh. I wonder what it is. But yeah, if you want the Pokemon Fire Red rival, who's running Fire Red?
Let's see. That is Snorms.
Snorms? Well, if you want Snorms' rival to be named, I don't know. Underscore. Pepsi. Donate!
There you go. I'll donate for Pepsi.
I donate for Pepsi, except not.
Trademark.
Oh. Blue is closed, never mind, Rival's closed, but you can still get Ditto. Oh, no, Blue isn't. What's Blue? Donate for Pokemon! Also, these are the last 3 levels of the game, I should have mentioned that.
Sure thing, miss. So we got for Pokemon Fire Red so far. Rival, we have $2 for Dork, $2 for Butt. We have no donations for the main character yet. For the starter Pokemon, we have $5 to Toji Sucks, Tojisux, $5 to SS4C, $10 to Emoji Movie,
That's
and
a good name.
$15 to Poke Hero.
Poke Hero. I like Emoji Movie. That one's good. Donate. I wish I had time to donate for Emoji Movie before this run ended, but oops.
Oh yeah, go for it.
But I'm busy running with air
Okay,
quotes. I'm running with
let's do-
air quotes because this run is really bad.
Fair enough. But yeah, if anyone wants to help us out getting the Emoji Movie into the top
It's a-
slot for the starter Pokemon, go for it right
Wait,
now.
it's not in the top
$5
slot
more.
already?
No, it's $10.
Wow. I'm boycotting this marathon. I'm not doing the rest of my runs.
I know,
Wait.
right?
This was my last one. Shoot. Alright, so because this run is bad, I'm going to try and redeem myself. I'm going to pull out none of the stops here. I'm going to go for the level reset hole, and I'm going to go for the clip.
Good luck.
Alright, reset hole. I didn't get reset hole. Oh, but I still lived the spikes. Okay, I'm a legend. Reset hole saves like not even a second, but it's the greatest. So I want to see if my cycles are right to try the clip, and if it is, I'm going to try the clip. I didn't get the clip. I didn't even get like the right clip because my cycles were off. You can clip through the last platform in that section before the checkpoint.
Getting a serious ghost house vibe from this level.
Yeah, but this one doesn't break the stream like Big Boo's Haunt. I'm really sad. I wanted to see the rest of 64DS.
Yeah.
So this is the final boss. So there are only 2 bits of RNG in this game. 2 bits. The first boss, which we actually refight in the second phase of this boss. There's 3 phases. I mean, technically 2, but there's refights in between, so I clarify that as phase 2. So you fight the first boss again in the second phase of this boss. And the first phase of this boss is RNG as well. And that's the only RNG in the entire run, except for maybe Dioma rubber banding. So what I need to do to hit him is I need him to go on the bottom. Because after a certain amount of shots, once he attacks me on the bottom, he'll roll at me afterwards. I could hit him twice, like after I damage him, I could roll into him again, but I wouldn't be able to damage him while he was stunned, which is kind of weird. So you do actually have to wait for him to attack on the bottom 5 different times before you can continue to the refights. And he's giving me a terrible pattern. Like, what is this? I've never seen RNG this bad. Fun fact, you and this boss have the same rolling speed, so if you fall behind him while rolling, yeah, you're out of luck. Stop attacking on the top! Oh my god! There we go, attack number 3. Oh my god, I should not be in the first phase right now. Bottom. Okay! Hate this. There we go! 4! Alright, we just need one more hit. I'm gonna do something to this boss. Alright. No! Don't die, thank you. There we go, we're done. Okay, phase 2. This is the refights. I'm gonna go for 1 cycle again, because it's random if I go for it, so why not? You know? I didn't get it. Wow, 3 cycle, okay. So since the boulders infinitely respawn here, you can't soft lock like you sometimes can in the original fight against this guy. But I've never gotten a 3 cycle before, so that's really bad luck. Basically, the luck in this ending decided to just crap on me, and that probably ruined sub 1. So they make the fights a bit shorter for the refights. Or this one, at least, to make it more bearable, because this fight is kind of long. And they also have infinitely respawning platforms, so I can mess up on platforms all I want and be fine. Yeah, see, this is what it looks like when you attack him too slow for a second set of bats. Also, in this fight, the platforms infinitely respawn, so if you go to the Realm of Code, you have to do the entire fight again. In this fight, though, he only takes 2 hits in the refight. You see, that's what he does if you take way too long to hit him with the platform. He starts summoning spikes. I almost jumped into the spikes. What? Ness, I don't get what you mean. My bid war died because my one-shot run is over. So that refight actually does the World 2 thing of not letting you skip the cutscenes. So this fight is a bit harder than the original because we have to have that girl that's important in the story and nowhere else spawning the power-ups. So because of that, the ceiling is lower, which actually makes the first wing skip impossible. However, the second one is still possible, and you bet you're behind I'm still going for it. Except I did it too slow, so I may be dead. Don't waste 4 minutes, thank you. So if you're wondering what I'm referring to, in the original version of this fight, you didn't see it because I did the fight right the first time. In the original version of this fight, it's faster to watch, instead of watching the death animation, it's faster to exit the stage and re-enter it. But in my marathon run, I did a marathon run of this game 2 months ago, and I accidentally did that because I died in the refight, which wasted 4 minutes because I had to do the entire final boss up to this point. I did that again. I've never bounced off that enemy though. Yeah, I was the only one who donated to my bed war. I'm so lonely. I don't know why I went for that. I literally explained that's impossible. Why did I go for it? Okay. I'm struggling. Time is gonna come up soonish once I beat this boss. I just have to do the 3rd phase, which you can one cycle, and it's really easy to one cycle. So I should get it. I've never not gotten one cycle on this boss. Like, even blind playthrough, I one cycled it, which is funny, because when I watched that really bad 153 run on the leaderboards, he didn't one cycle the last phase. And I don't even know how that's possible to not one cycle it. Okay, there we go, we beat the boss. No, it's alright, Ness. So this is the last phase. Time's coming up when the credits start, which is very soon. Like in, like, a few seconds. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Time. I want to see what that was. Because that's time right there. Let's see. I just hope it beat my marathon run from the beginning of June. Honestly. 1:03:30. Well, I did do better than last marathon, but only by a minute. That was not a very good run. And it happens. So, I said I was going to show... Yeah, these are the cartridges. Like, they make them themed off of, like, the previous consoles. Before I go offline, though, I want to do one last thing. And, you know... I may have not exactly ended off this marathon on a high note for this run. Or not ended off the marathon, but ended off my showcase at the marathon on a high note, because this run wasn't the best. But if I didn't end it off on a high note, I know where I can end it off. You know, it's something my mom always tells me. You know what? Does your mom tell you this, Winner? My mom tells me this all the time. But if you can't end off on a high note, end off in a pit of broken spikes. Alright, that's all. See you later. Get me off. I'm done here.
Emoji movie.
Perfect. Thanks again. I'll just